3 a.m. Pillow Talk. We have not put out an episode in probably 6 freaking weeks. And this is a different type of episode for me to do because I am bringing on a beautiful woman I went ass over boots for, and I do not wear boots very often, so that does not happen. Her name is Tiffany Thomson. And I kind of just wanted to bring her on and celebrate. So maybe I'm probably going to fail in a lot of this, but I want people to see what I see. So she is a wildland firefighter. She is an E.M.T. And I am going to hand it over to you, beautiful lady. Tell me all about wildland firefighting. We will start there.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm nervous, so you have to walk me through this, okay? So don't let me
Well,
pass you.
I'm nervous too. So, um, I think it was about a year ago that it just kind of came to mind that that's what I wanted to do is EMT and wildland firefighting. I wanted to be an EMT for my crew. Um, my first fire got me. So, I mean, the smell, you can't smell a bonfire and not think of a wildland fire anymore. It's just totally different. You just want to jump in the truck and pull hose and start spraying. It's definitely a male-dominated industry, but I think I've always been the kind of person that wants to prove you wrong. So I'm 5'4", 115 pounds. I'm going to do everything that every other guy's going to do, and I'm going to do it better. So that is that's what I want to do.
So you're an
I
EMT while you're out there?
I am.
Okay.
I am. So I am fighting fires, so I'm not just an EMT on the line, but I am one of the medics to our crew.
Okay. Um. So so when did you become an EMT? When did that start?
That started a little over a year ago.
What was that process like? Did you have to go to school, classes?
You do, and I'm 40 years old, so I do own a business. I own a nutrition company as well, and to be honest, it was just something I heard. You can call it God. I call it God, but I just heard EMT and firefighting, and it just became a passion. So I immediately enrolled in school and started my classes, and everything just kind of rolled with the punches. And I did everything I said I was going to do. I definitely wanted to get on with a contractor for firefighting, and I did. Um, I love it. Thunder Mountain Fire and Mitigation is one of the, I'm going to say, the best. Um,
Throw a
so
plug.
a little shout out to them. So
Okay, what's it like being an EMT? See, so I've been with I have been on video with you when you're on call, but I would have never known anything that goes into being an EMT. I didn't know, and I'm sure 80% of people don't know. But what goes into that? How does that look? What do your shifts look like?
every agency is different. I'm on call. I work in the North Fork Valley, so I bid for shifts. So my schedule is always different. I could work 4 days straight and be on call 24 hours all those 4 days. So I'll have a pager and a radio, and if I get paged out, then I go to the station, grab the ambulance, and we head out. Um, we have calls that are serious, and then we have calls that are just lift assists. Again, I'm still just a baby EMT. I haven't seen a whole lot. It's kind of an interesting paradox because I want to see all the trauma, and I want to see all the, I guess, very emergent calls, but at the same time, I still want people to be okay.
Okay, so
So
do you like the adrenaline?
I love the adrenaline. That is what keeps me going.
So what do the 24-hour shifts look like? any time of night. So
Anytime.
anytime you have to just wake up and go.
Yes. So usually what that looks like for me is it really depends. It's almost like a feeling. There's days that I stay in my uniform, stay in my boots, sleep on top of my covers because it always never fails that I'll get a call drop at 3 a.m. So I want to be ready. The station is about 2 minutes away, so I can be there really quick and get in the ambulance and be there in a very swift amount of time. But I don't want to take the time to load up my pants. I mean, we have knives and shears and trauma kits and everything else with us and loaded down in our pants. So I kind of just keep them in there.
So that new belt you got, okay.
Which belt? I have a couple.
The new one, the more comfortable one.
Okay, yes.
Is that for EMT and firefighting?
Um,
Or is that just for...
it just depends. It depends on what I'm feeling, to be honest with you. So I have several belts, and I don't know if anybody else is listening, but groove belts are awesome. They're softer, and they fit, and they're a little bit more narrow, so you can actually put stuff on your belt, and they hold. I also have more of a rigid belt, more for concealed carry, but it does carry your radio and your pager a lot better, but it's stiff. It's really stiff, so it kind of hurts your hips, and I do not like that for firefighting. So I usually use a rigger's belt, like a military rigger's belt for firefighting. Because you're using your pack is around your hips itself. And I mean, we're hiking and going miles, and you got tools, and you got piss packs, which are 45-pound bags of water on top of your bags. So, I mean, the less that's digging into your hips, the better.
Okay, what kind of training do you have to go through for the wildland firefighting? What do you
So
do?
it's actually, you go through some FEMA requirements. So you go through the IS 700, IS 800, I think 100 and 200. There are things that you have to do online, and then you also have to take a class in person that you pay for. And then you can kind of just keep on going so you can learn fire behavior. And so I'm a firefighter 2. I'll be opening up my firefighter 1 task book, which means you just have to learn different things, how to read the weather. Um, it's more than just reading the weather. So um, it's 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 not it's simple, but it's challenging.
Okay, so you mentioned a nutrition company
Yes.
that kind of led to the EMT stuff.
Yes.
Talk about that.
Okay. So I own Black Sheep Nutrition,
Okay.
and it has been a brick and mortar for 6 years. I just closed the brick and mortar down, and I do online coaching now. So I do sell supplements, but I also sell meal plans and put people on proper supplementation. Um, I think there's too many people that get on kicks of like ashwagandha is, the pill to take now, or this is what to take now. And I think that that's BS. Everybody's body is different. Everybody needs different things. So I go by blood typing. I actually take your blood, and we'll find out what your ABO type is. And we kind of go from there with your food, and eliminate um, inflammation from what you're eating. So that also helps your gut brain access. I'm pretty big into mental health as well, which kind of drew me to you. I do have PTSD, and the gut brain access with PTSD is pretty interesting and complex. So again, what you put into your body medicating wise, it affects your brain, and what you put into your brain affects your gut, and it just is like a vicious cycle, and most people don't really return out of it or get any better.
Okay.
So,
So you, we're gonna get a little personal now. 'Cause
okay.
I love getting personal. So you mentioned PTSD.
hmm
How do you deal with that?
How do I deal with that?
Yeah, you
Well,
deal with your PTSD.
uh,
Well,
well,
yeah.
um, to be honest, it's taken years to actually say those words,
Okay.
to say I have PTSD. It was something that was embarrassing. I thought that I was weak, that I had it. I didn't want help for it. I thought I was good to go. Um, but after something that triggered me about a year ago, I decided to go get help and started actually seeing a psychiatrist. To be honest, I haven't been completely honest with everything yet, but I think that takes trust with anybody, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but I know that I have triggers. So the triggers that I do have, I've learned to cope. So you have like that tool belt. I do take some medication to help with that. I used to be against all medication because I'm a holistic nutritionalist. So I had managed everything for about 7 years holistically
Okay.
until I couldn't, until my body just crashed. So I knew that I needed Western medicine, and hence the reason why too, where it was like, you know what, maybe I need to learn a little bit more about Western medicine. Maybe I need to not be so uh, tough or,
Rigid in your thinking.
yep, I had to be open minded and like, you know, say, okay, pride, got to kind of get down because there is times that Western medicine is needed. Absolutely.
I know that a lot of trauma and stuff like that. I know from some experience and from some people I've talked to, and some I've done a lot of study on. I know it seats itself in your nervous system, and I know that it can be really hard to recognize what a trigger is from like an unhealthy trigger from a healthy trigger, right? Like
Right?
I've had to work on stuff like, okay, I'm feeling this way, right? And then kind of reverse engineer that to, because your nervous system can lie to you. Because you can be just fine, and then all of a sudden something hits you. And I have had a hard time in the past trying to differentiate trauma from logistics, I guess. Trauma from non-trauma in that regard. But
I think it can be different learning yourself. Like, I know that the reason why I like being an EMT and I like firefighting is the adrenaline dump, but I also know that that's horrible for my nervous system.
okay, so that's a paradox.
So it is. But I need it
Okay,
because if without me feeling like I have a purpose, I go into a depression.
okay, that's
So that is something I know.
yeah. So it's and you so what started you? We might circle back, but for right now, let's walk the easy path. Let's what started the nutrition company? What brought that on?
That I have a major autoimmune disorder. It's a pretty rare autoinflammatory disorder. It's called Behcets syndrome.
Bish,
It's spelt really weird.
it's Bichettes. Okay,
Behcets. So it's like one in 100,000 in the U.S. of people that have it. Um, it it's a really nasty disease. I've had a minor heart attack. I've had blood clots in my lungs. I had 4 TIAs, which are mini strokes. I've had every organ system be inflamed. Costochondritis, angina, which is inflammation around your heart. So it feels like you've had a heart attack, but you haven't. Pleurisy, which is inflammation in your lungs. So it's just inflammation. So basically, um, my blood vessels get inflamed. So they used to think that I had like a blood clotting disorder or a blood disorder, and it has nothing to do with my blood. It's the blood vessels. So you think everything in my body will get inflamed. You've seen me when I'm in a flare.
Yeah.
I get really puffy. My eyes get really red.
Yeah.
Um, and the only really thing that you can see on the outside is ulcers, I guess. So it doesn't seem like it's that bad, but it's the inside that's hurting so bad. So like I'll get ulcers in my mouth or in my nose or in my eyes or on my skin, in my stomach.
To circle back real quick, and we're gonna continue with that. Autoimmune, just in case there's somebody listening who isn't quite sure what that means. That is when your immune system and your body are at war, right?
Yes, it's basically attacking yourself. So it's saying that your body is an intruder. So your body starts attacking itself and tearing it apart.
Okay. So
Yeah. So I am on a low dose of immune suppressive chemotherapy
okay.
to manage that.
How's that been working? We're gonna get pretty personal. How is
Yeah.
the current chemo? How many different types of chemo?
How many types? I've been on one type, but the dose has constantly increased over the last year.
Okay.
It has helped me out tremendously. I wouldn't be able to be doing anything that I'm doing without it. Um, they are thinking about switching me to a different type of chemo just because I'm still getting the ulcers and I still get the flares and they shouldn't be there. I mean, I still have significant pain throughout my body. I just push through.
Yeah.
Um, I, like I said, I like to be physically active, and when I'm not, I hurt more.
Do you think so? You're 5'4", 115 pounds. You have
Mm-hmm.
probably the most beautiful smile I've ever seen in my life. Okay. You you have an autoimmune. You've got health problems with the autoimmune. That's what started up the nutrition company. You're a
Yes.
fucking firefighter and an EMT. Do you
Yes.
think that maybe the PTSD that you've dealt with that you didn't want to admit that made you look weak, which is completely understandable, and the autoimmune stuff, do you think that drove you to go for such strong fuels?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100% because I'm a fighter. I'm not going to lay down. I mean, I was bedridden for a few years and I have been through absolute hell. And there just got to a point where I remember laying in bed and like I couldn't have the fan hit my skin.
Okay.
Like it just hurt. And I remember just praying to God. I'm like, just take me home. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to fight this anymore. And I heard God and he just said, I gave you healing, you have to take it. And that just hit me like a ton of bricks. And it was like, okay. So I'm going to read every freaking book. I'm going to go back to school for holistic nutrition. I'm going to get my shit in order. I'm going to fix myself. And then that ended up helping other people,
Yeah.
um, help fix them in their health issues or just losing weight or gaining weight. And went into that. And then I guess it wasn't enough. I needed more. There's a lot of people that say they want help, but they don't want help. They want an excuse. And I am not one of those people. So then it was like, I just need something more.
Yeah. A lot of people will use it for leverage too. A lot of people
Yeah.
like to use it for leverage. So what is all right? So you're obviously very driven. What is next? What do you have? So I feel personally, okay, and I know you decently well, okay. So I feel personally that you like to keep going, going, going. So what do you think would be next? What do you think? Are you gonna further in the EMT? I know you're going through what are you going through? What kind of classes are you doing right now?
IV certs.
Okay, so you can give an IV.
Mm-hmm.
And you were looking at Fire One. So you just keep
going.
going. Yeah,
There's no option.
yeah.
There's no option. You got to keep going. So yeah, I am firefighter 2. I'm going to open that firefighter 1 task book. And then after that is engine boss. I have 3 years to finish firefighter 1. And then I'll have 3 years to finish engine boss, which I will continue in wildland. I still haven't decided if I wanted to go structure fire or not. Probably not. I think I have a lot on my plate and I love wildland. The adrenaline of getting a call and saying, hey, we are deploying at 0600 tomorrow. That is like the best feeling in the whole world. I have all my gear packed. I go through my gear.
What kind of gear do you have? You have shown it off to me personally, and you were very excited.
Well, I mean, I use a Mystery Ranch for my pack.
Okay.
So that's my pack. Every time you're 50 feet away from your engine, you basically have to have your pack on. I am the medic, so I have a medic bag as well with me. My water, P cord, just my tools, stuff like that. My helmet, my gloves, my eyewear, just stuff like that that we have to have. And then I have 2 bags. So one is for my actual gear. So we camp out. So it can be between 14 and 21 days. So I have my um, little tent. I have my cot. I have my sleeping bag. I have my little blow up pillow. I've gotten pretty good at my hygiene and getting my shower shoes. I mean, it's always great when you actually have a shower truck pull up.
Yeah.
Usually you don't the first 4 or 5 days, so you're pretty rough. So I actually have like these like special wipes that you can just get wet and do a spit bath and
Okay.
do all that. So that, and then I have all my gear and my clothes. So we have our fire gear and then our undershirts and um, definitely at least 30 pairs of socks, stuff for blisters. Just trying to think.
So on the, so let's change course for a second. Okay. So let's change course. Do you think that's intimidating to a lot of people?
What?
Just the way you are, the way you're driven, the way you're. Do you think that that is intimidating in any way? Have you found instances in your life where that might have been a little intimidating?
It could be because um, I think people compare themselves, and comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's anything that I do, but I mean, I do it too. I mean, I'm human too. I compare myself to somebody else.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I want to do that better. I want to learn how to do that, or, um,
That's what's
you know,
driven humanity. So that's why we have food.
yeah. I mean, I think we need like I think there's a difference between jealousy and envy.
Yeah.
Envy is like I don't want you to have what I have, or I don't want you to have that. I want it. But jealousy, I think we need it.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm jealous. I want that position and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get it.
Competition is good. Competition is good. I don't think there are enough competitive people out. Actually, I think people have
Yeah.
gotten too soft.
Yeah. And I have a lot to prove. Like I said, I mean, it's not a joke when you're out there. Like you have your team and you rely on each other. Um, I've got to be able to carry people out just like somebody's got to carry me out.
So
So
let's circle back real quick. I don't mean to interrupt. So you talked about the PTSD, and I'm assuming is that trauma from your past.
there's trauma from my past. Yeah.
Do you think you have a lot you're proving to yourself also?
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
I think there's been times in my life that um, I feel like I could have done better. I could have watched my own back better. I could have not put myself in different situations.
Yeah.
Uh, so there's a little bit of guilt, I guess,
Okay.
where it's like, I don't want to do that again.
So you've been made to feel kind of helpless or looked at a certain way, and you felt okay. That makes sense. That makes absolute sense. Okay. So What else are you into? So I know a lot of stuff that you were into. First of all, I one of the things that drew me to you is you have a very strong feminine side. Like you've got a very soft and very.
You see that.
I do see that. I'm very, very lucky to see that. But that's one of the things that drew me to you is you've got this duality, right? So you've got this tactical gear. You've got you like to carry. You can still carry stuff. You are a 5 foot 415 spitball, right? Going 100 miles an hour. But what drew me to you is somehow there are moments where you are so feminine and you were just it's just so somehow that balances out, and I think you do a really good job on that. So that's kind of one of the things that drew me to you. It's a good duality. A lot of people, so a lot of women nowadays, now I'm going to dig into a little bit of uh I think a lot of women nowadays go they're either all the way up here, right? They're all just trying to compete with men and doing this, and they call themselves bad bitches, or they're just doormats. So it seems like there's and doormat feminine doesn't necessarily mean doormat. No, any more
Right.
than masculine means a muddy pair of workers. So it's not that, but it seems like a lot of women now have a hard time finding that balance.
There is, but I think that that's because men have changed.
Okay, let's talk about that. Ah,
Um, and I could be wrong, and it could be just my experience, and it probably is.
okay, well, I like your
Um,
experience, so let's talk about your experience.
maybe there's more feminine men
I I concur. I absolutely
out
feel
there.
that way. So you think that women have been put in a spot where they had to be the man? Where
Absolutely, I have. I've definitely had to be more masculine when it comes to business or protecting myself or anything else. It's like you can only count on yourself because you can't count on somebody else. Somebody doesn't have your back. So,
is that hard to deal with that? So all right, so we're in a relationship, right? You are my woman. I'm very proud of that. Is it hard to deal with that? Is it hard to deal with that? Okay, so I will speak first. All right.
okay.
So I'll quit. I'll cut myself a little bit. So I have found, right, like I'm a decently secure and confident man. And I've found ways, and I try to tell men all the time, like how to build confidence, how to build security. And a lot of times I think men look for too much happiness. And I don't think happiness is necessarily where a man is supposed to be. I think he's supposed to be in pursuit of something. And that's what kind of creates that balance in a man. Where was I going? I got kind of fucking trailed off there. But so where were we? You're gonna need to bring me back. You're hosting the podcast for this.
I am not.
You are absolutely
I am not. Um, masculine energy.
okay. So so you think women have been put in a spot? Do you think? All right. So I have a hard time. So I haven't been in a serious relationship in a long time. I haven't felt a certain way about somebody in a long time. I haven't been in a spot to where I had to like I'm really good at going on video and showing vulnerability. I'm very good on going on video and be like, I'm not feeling so confident today, so this is what I did, this is what I did. I'm having anxiety. But it is a whole different game for me, and it's been a whole different kind of learning thing for me where I've had to dig into myself. Being in a spot where my whole shit is on a platter. Where I'm just like, here's a platter, here's a little bit of my fucking insides, here you go, right? So I have personally had some stuff come up, and I have been so anyways I've had moments of insecurity, I've had moments of anxiety, and it has been kind of something that I've had to walk myself through, right? So do you ever have a hard time letting go of that? You got to do yourself, you got to be hyper independent, So, like on the
Yes.
other end of the spectrum.
Yes. So I think recently, and I don't know what it is that has changed, but I think it was maybe my age. I'm not sure. Turning 40 was something big for me. It was just like, wow, you know. I've been married several times for long amounts of time.
Yeah.
Um, there was, it's like you know what you don't want anymore, but you're unsure of what you want, but you know that you don't want to have to take care of everything.
Okay.
You want to be able to rely on somebody, or you want to be like, I want to be feminine. Even though I'm in a male dominated industry,
Yeah.
I'm still, I still want to be feminine.
Yeah.
Not prissy. I can't be prissy,
Although your hair looks
but
very nice right now. Your hair,
I tried.
you did very
I tried. I was going to wear a hat, and I thought, you know,
well.
I'll look a little bit more feminine.
Well,
Um,
you'd have a hard time looking like a man, anyways. But go ahead.
no, I just,
Yeah.
I, I think it's hard to let go too, because you're trusting somebody else with your feelings and
Yeah.
um,
Parts of you.
taking care of something. I've always taken care of my vehicles and the finances, and I mean, you know, the radiator blows on the side of the road, and I'm taking care of it. Like I don't want to have to do that. I can do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to change my own tire. Can I? Yes. Um, uh, I still sit with my back like I facing the door, or like I'm always facing the door.
Yeah.
Like um, I at some point don't want that to happen. I want to be able to sit with somebody and know that they got my back,
Yeah.
whether that be a male or a female.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that are so naive, and maybe I'm just hyper vigilant, and that's my problem. I have no idea anymore. You know, maybe people haven't gone through things, so they don't have to worry about those things. And that's okay too. And I envy that from people. They haven't been through it. I have cameras all over my house. I uh, have gun safes all over. My children know how to handle weapons. I know how to handle weapons, and um, that's just me.
Which is interesting. That's interesting. That's kind of interesting for a woman to go through whatever you went through. Because a lot of times that would be, I would think that would be a man. So
You think?
I think so. I think maybe men have gone, us men have gone to war. From an evolutionary perspective, women were in which is why I advocate for men's mental health, all right, because men don't know how to fucking talk. We don't know how to talk. We don't have emotional release.
No.
And we especially can't do that with a man next to us. So I think from an evolutionary perspective, we're going to war together. If this guy tells me that he is sad about something, he's not, I'm going to die. He is in his feelings, he's in his emotions, and I don't trust him. So I think men still carry that to an extent.
It is true. And I love that you advocate for men's mental health, because I, with my nutrition, um, advocate for a lot of the PTSD, and I help a lot of men
Yeah.
because they can feel safe talking to a woman.
Yes, which is something I am a big advocate for also. We don't sit around and talk about our feelings. Like we're just not gonna do that. Like
No,
I'm never gonna look a man in his eye and be like, I'm sad about this, bro. Like I think that men and this is another. All right, so the flip side of that coin with women being masculine and men kind of being softer, and maybe that pushed women into a more masculine role. I think on the flip side of that, what goes with that is that men need a soft place to rest. Like they need somewhere where they can be safe to express their emotions, to be like, look, I'm feeling this way, or I'm feeling this way, or something, just something to let that out. and that actually helps us go back out to war. Like,
I agree. And I think there has to be a balance too. And there's something that, I think it's a gift. I'm not tooting my own horn, but I have a good balance of that with men, like where they can talk to me and then it's like, all right. And then I'm back into my analytical. What are we going to do about it? What's the solution?
yeah,
This is what we're going to do. This is what you got to do. Are you willing to do this, this, and this? And check back in with me.
yeah,
And a lot of them very receptive to that.
yeah. So I listened. I learned this thing a little while back where you can't meet emotion with emotion or logic with logic. So I have always in my life, like we get, all right, men get this thing, it's called vasopressin, I believe. And we get really chemically rewarded for fixing problems, right? So women like to complain a lot about men just trying to fix it a lot. Well, we get chemically rewarded for that. Like we literally have brain chemicals where we're like, okay, we conquered that. All right, we conquered this, and we get a little high from it. Yeah, so I think that I'm just a big advocate for that. I'm kind of spinning in circles right now. Your eyes caught me for a fucking second, caught me off guard, and I just got kind of spun out. So let me slow down for it's getting hot here. um, yeah, so I like that. I like how you balance your femininity and your softness, and you're able to display that and show that, and still go out there and pull a hose and fight a fire. That's very attractive. But I don't want to sit on this whole podcast and flirt with you. So let's move on with that. So it's so with the autoimmune stuff, that's something that you'll have to deal with for the rest of your life.
The rest of my life. And it's plagued me since I was 15.
15. Okay.
So I just got an actual real diagnosis. I was misdiagnosed several times throughout my life and not properly medicated as well.
Okay. Does the
So
does it build up a resistance to medication? Does it build up a resistance to the chemo?
um, I think it's our body chemistry. My rheumatologist kind of explained to me where, again, everybody's body is different. So, um, again, they can't just put you on the max dose that's going to tank you. So, I mean, when I first started chemo, I was throwing up for days and in bed for days. And that was just the lowest dose. So they had to increase it, increase it, increase it. So now I'm on pretty much the max dose. And he wants me to be better. So, I mean, he's really proud of me too. I mean, I'm proud of myself. Most people are on disability or have completely given up on life
Yeah.
with all the stuff that I've been through medically.
Yeah.
Um, um, and I'm just not going to allow it to happen, you know? So if they put me on something else or if they put me on injections, whatever, it's fine. It is what it is. We'll just keep on going.
You've also got a pretty big hippie side to you.
I do.
You have a very big hippie side. It's really talk about.
I do.
You-
Um,
I know you've shown off crystals. I know you have a whole box of little rocks you like to show off. I guess.
so I definitely believe in like the whole spiritual healing and body, mind, soul.
Okay.
And I think that I there's things that I've practiced, especially being sick. So there's something called qigong, which is Chinese way of healing. It's almost like Tai Chi. So you do like, it's just weird. Like, honestly, like I can't even explain it, but like, I don't know if you can see in the back, but I have like singing bowls and they have different frequencies. So like, they call it biometric beats. So,
Okay.
um, there's just different healing frequencies. I totally believe in that. Do I believe that crystals can heal you? No, but there's different minerals. So, I mean, like, if you put a mineral in your hand and it gets hot, like, it's because your body's trying to eat it and it needs it.
Okay.
So, I mean, rocks are minerals. So, I mean, like, I'll wear different crystals or different things. You know, I don't know. I think I was scared to wear those kind of things or like stuff like that. I mean, I always had like Mopar and guns and stuff all over my room for decor. Now I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna be feminine and I'm gonna have like crystals and orbs and plants and
Yeah.
uh, that's okay.
That's a sweet side. That's a really sweet. That's a really sweet side.
And it's calming. Like I need something calming.
Yeah, your head tends to go 100 miles an hour. I know that. So
It does go 100 miles an hour. And sometimes that's a good thing and sometimes it's not a good thing.
yeah.
So,
Well, I hope everybody got a little glimpse into who Tiffany is because I'm probably just a little biased. So I just wanted everyone else to.
probably.
Yeah.
This is probably super boring to everybody
Well,
else.
I don't. I do not think so. I do not think so at all. I think everyone else is going to kind of fall in love with Tiffany. So I thank you for coming on the podcast.
Of course. Thank you for having me. What's next for you in Pillow Talk?
I like celebrating masculine femininity. I love it when men are men. I try to put out videos toward men. I like mental health. I don't necessarily think the current model of mental health serves men. I think, Freud actually was interviewing Annie O, and she had schizophrenia and a couple other things. And he was doing a therapist session with her, a psychoanalyst, I guess you would call it. I don't know the exact word. And she said, "Will you just shut up and let me talk?" And he was like, so he shut up, and she rattled on for him. And she's like, "I feel so much better. Thank you." So I think literally our current therapy model was built on a woman. So I think men need a different kind of mental health. I think we need to be active. I think we used to be out hunting and gathering. What are we doing now? We're sitting in mom's basement watching porn, jerking off, eating Cheetos. Like we don't even have to dress or become charismatic or maybe build some muscles, learn how to groom to see a naked woman anymore. We literally can just sit here and be soft, get soft and pudgy, and look at it on our phone. So I think the way society has gone, I think men have gone downhill. And my whole purpose behind this was to help men not have to go through what a lot of men go through by themselves. But men seem to be also very resistant. They seem to be very resistant to, I guess, help, or I guess, especially if it comes from a man. I think if a woman was doing this podcast and she was talking about men's mental health, men would be all over. They'd be watching it, they'd listen to her. So it's been kind of an interesting paradox with me. So that's how it started. So I think I'm
Yeah, because you got a lot of women that actually come to you about help with their
dating.
men
Yes, yes,
dating.
yes, which has been an interesting evolution because I have had a lot of women in like men never. I try to talk to men and it doesn't like I have failed in my mission. I will keep going. I'll keep exploring men's mental health. I'll keep trying to get men together. Like, but what it has evolved into is women ask me about men, and so I'm like, I know men, and it is so it's been a kind of a weird, interesting evolution to the whole 3 a.m. pillow talk.
Well, I can't wait to see how it evolves.
Well, it is going to absolutely evolve. It will not devolve. I will have it evolve in one direction or another. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.